we had mentioned that effective communication, if you have to get, or if you should be having effective communication, you should be knowing what to speak, you should be knowing when to speak, and you should be knowing how to speak. I want whoever is present, if possible, try to respond. Okay. Now, we will take this conversation or take this workshop to a level where we will try to take examples. We will try to create a situation or a scenario where we actually need effective communication. Now, considering the program is professional communication, so I will discuss only about professional communication. So now let us try to classify, or let us try to make a list of different opportunities or different occasions when we need to talk. So now, couple of things when we are working, or couple of professional communication situations. So when it is a meeting, if you are in a meeting, that's where you need to ensure that you have effective communication. Are you there with me, all of you all? Fine. I would continue. If there is anyone who has a doubt or a question, please stop me and ask. So we are talking about different situations or different opportunities or different reasons where we would have to have effective communication. So once again, I'm saying, in your professional life, or if you are working, one of an important situation where you need to be very careful about your communication is in a meeting. Okay. Now, of course, there could be different types of meeting. I will quickly take you through. Then we may have something called as a group discussion, or similar or very close to it, it could be a debate. You may be participating in a group discussion or a debate. That is another situation where you would have to be concerned about your communication. Then, if you are having a one-on-one meeting, means you are talking to only one person. Either you may be a manager or you may be a subordinate in that meeting. Okay. List of different types of situations where we would have to be careful about our communication. First, I mentioned about a meeting. Second, I mentioned about group discussion or debate. Skyrocketed our time. We are very late, so let's go a little bit fast. Once again, very quickly, as I was saying yesterday, we discussed about effective communication. In effective communication, please follow the screen, all of us. In effective communication, I mentioned, if we know what to speak, if we know when to speak, and if we know how to speak, we will probably be very close to having an effective communication. Now, we are trying now to make a list of different types of situations or occasions when we have to be careful about our communication. The first, as I mentioned, is about a meeting. We will further break down this meeting into a couple of more types of meeting, but broadly, I'm talking about meeting when there are many people. You are participating in a couple of people are there from your organization, maybe your subordinates, your manager or your senior manager, or your client is there. Some or more than 2 people are participating in it. Okay. Then we talked about group discussion. Now, when I say group discussion, it's again a process or again a situation where there are more than 2 people. And then finally, we are talking about one-on-one meeting. One-on-one meeting in the sense that there are only 2 people. You are talking to somebody, either you could be a manager or you could be a subordinate. So, are you able to understand till here? It's very, very simple. It's just a list I have made. Are you all clear about it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, these are situations wherein this could be happening in a closed environment, and this could be having, this kind of a communication or this kind of a conversation may be happening between 2 known people. The group of people may be known to each other. Now, let us talk about something, make a list of situations wherein you have to speak to complete strangers. You may have to speak to complete unknown people without preparation. What are those situations? Those situations are when you are selling something. Everyone is with me? When you are selling something, means you are meeting somebody. Most probably that somebody, we will call it as a prospect, a person to whom you would be selling somebody. Now, selling is a very universal word. You could be selling a concept, you may be selling a product, you may be selling an idea, you may be selling your thought process, something or the other. You're selling something. So that's where most often you will be communicating with the person whom you do not know, or you know very little about that person, or you might have just met about a few minutes back and now you have to communicate with him. So that's another situation where you need to be very careful about your effective communication, about your communication being effective. So these are some of the lists which we have made. Now, I am not going into that dimension wherein I would say, how would you effectively communicate with a small kid? How would you effectively communicate with an elderly person? How would you effectively communicate with your friends? I am not going in that direction because that's a totally different workshop. Here, I am concentrating only on professional communication. Now, in our professional communication, this workshop which we started yesterday is about effective communication. Now, in effective communication, we have made a list of couple of opportunities or couple of situations where we will have to be careful about our communication. Now, let's come directly to the point. Okay. All of these communications would not have much of a difference in terms of we being careful. What are the things we should be careful while we are in these kind of communication? These may not have a lot of differences. The things which we may be careful or which we should be careful are pretty much the same. I will take you through some examples and then you will come to know. Now let's talk about a meeting. All right. Now if you are working, probably that time you will come to know there are different types of meeting. Can anybody tell me any kind of a meeting which you may want to say this meeting is for this, or any kind of a definition is given to a meeting? Fine. One of the meeting wherein an organization has, it is about basically reporting. Means the team is sitting and we are discussing a report which would be related to the performance of the team, which would be related to the next plan or what exactly we are trying to do, how we will correct our mistakes, how we will ensure that we do not make mistakes, what should be a performance. So this is a kind of a reporting meeting. We are all in the meeting and we are reporting. We are trying to identify. This is one of the reasons of a meeting. Second type of a meeting would be a new idea. Third, it could be an update. There is something new idea which has come up, or there is some new update. We are working in an organization, we are doing some work, and there is some new update which has come in our operations. That's wherein we will gather, we will call all of our team members together, and we will say, come on, let's have a meeting, let's try to understand. So there may be a update, wherein that's when we will come across a situation that we have a meeting. Now, like this, there are many situations or reasons for a meeting. Now, let's come to the point as to what should be taken care so that we make sure that we have an effective communication during a meeting. Now, as I mentioned in the past, what to speak. The moment I say what to speak, for us to have an effective communication, we should know what to speak. And in the what to speak part, I said you have to be positive, you use positive language, use finite words, and use persuasive language. So if we capture or if we make a note of these 3 points, the 3 points of use positive language, use finite words, and use persuasive language, and we come to the situation of a meeting, then how it works. Now, the moment I say positive language, and if at all we are into a reporting meeting, or if we are into a meeting where there is a new idea, or if we are into a meeting where there is an update, it could be anything. Most often, if you are conducting the meeting, most often, I'm repeating, most often, if you are conducting a meeting, there is a tendency that we always start a meeting, or if not the beginning or the start of the meeting, most of us have a tendency to very quickly come on to the negatives. We always try to say, like for example, if I'm taking a meeting and all of you all are present in the meeting, I may say, oh, good morning to all of you all. Welcome, how are you? These are very simple things. These have become just formalities. Everybody knows that whoever comes for a meeting will automatically say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or he would also ask, how are you? That's fine. That's just a formality. What we are trying to discuss over here is that I should not start the meeting with this statement. The statement is like this, if I'm conducting the meeting. All right. Okay, the reason for our meeting today is that we have some important points to discuss wherein we are not meeting our targets. We are not meeting our responsibilities. We are not meeting the necessary points which we... The moment you start the meeting with these phrases, not meeting, not starting, not achieving, the entire group, they are knowing that there is something which we are not meeting. That's the reason there is a meeting. They know that we have not met the target. That's the reason we are meeting. We need not repeat it in the beginning, or we need not repeat it as a negative statement. Of course, we have to address it. So that's where what I'm trying to say, if you are in a meeting, first thing, start your conversation with positive language and keep on continuing with the positive language. So then what is it we need to understand over here? We need to understand over here, it's a very, very simple statement. Hello friends, good morning to all of you all. I hope all of you are doing very well. Excellent. I am sure that we all know the reason for this meeting. And I'm very sure after this meeting, we all will get back to our best and start performing better. It is the same message. One message, one sentence is, today's meeting is to discuss on the topics why we were not able to meet our targets, where are we missing, what are the things what we are not doing right. These are all negative statements. And everybody knows this. However, if you start with positive statements would be, good morning to all of you all, how are you? Perfect. Now, today's meeting, I'm sure, once we finish this meeting, we will have a lot of positive inputs. We will get back to our work, we will perform to our best, and we will give our best performance so that we achieve better than what we did in our last quarter or in our last week or in the last month. So these are all positive statements. So examples of positive statements to start with the meeting is that. So you got to be very, very careful when you are starting a meeting. Start with the positive information. Now when we talk about finite, as I said, the second point is finite. What to speak? Finite. So when you are in a meeting, please make sure whatever point you are trying to discuss, you have made a clear data of it. I mentioned this yesterday. Make a clear, easy, readable, understandable, logical, rational data so that people can correlate what you are talking about. Now again, if there is in your data, if there are 2-3 scores which you have mentioned, and if there is something, say for example, there is one executive, the target to be met, let's take a very, very simple example, that if we were just saying, say for example, if a person had to sell something, he had to sell 100 pieces in a month, and the minimum to qualify is 75, and he has not met the 75 number. Now, we should be very, very careful that when you are communicating, at this point I want to get back to the first thing. What is communication? Communication is sharing our ideas, passing of information from one person to another. That is communication. Effective communication is passing of information, sharing of ideas, and getting a required output, getting a required answer for it. So if you are discussing in a reporting meeting, somebody has not achieved, your target is to make sure that from the next time onwards, after this meeting is over, this person should start achieving. That's the goal of the meeting. Again, I'm coming back to the same point. Please try to understand how am I linking to this. Most of the time, we have a big confusion. I am taking the meeting and I need to make sure that the person understands very clearly. Fine, that is good. But that's not the end. That's not the only thing which you need to achieve. From your communication, the outcome of that communication should be positive. Okay? So when I'm saying if you are in a meeting and if you're telling your team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points are not achieved, hello, sorry, you please get back to work, be serious and perform well. Good communication. That's very good communication. But it's only good communication. It's not an effective communication. Effective communication is that you should get a proper outcome of what you've mentioned to them. So when you are talking, say for example, there is one person who has not met the targets. Can somebody now in the group, if possible, I'll just give few seconds, somebody has to check or somebody has to try. If there is a person who has not met the target, can somebody start a conversation about this particular situation wherein we start with a positive note? We also ensure that we talk finite, and then finally I'm coming to this, to be persuasive. That means my outcome of that discussion should be positive, or I should get results. Can somebody tell me, there is a person who had to make 100 units of sales, minimum requirement for him to qualify is 75, he did not meet the 75% of sales. So how could I address this issue? Can anybody try that? No problem if you are wrong. Situation is, there is, or one person or the entire team, they have not achieved their target. The target is 75, but they have not achieved the target. Now, what should be your effective communication so that you get the outcome of that meeting? See, the outcome of the meeting is not that you have addressed the message. The outcome of the meeting is that after this meeting, they should start performing. After this meeting, they should be on track. What should be the way that I can address this issue? Can anybody try that? Can anybody try that? Once again, for the last time, I am putting the situation. The team has not met the target, and you need to address that issue. Addressing the issue is not effective communication. People in the team understanding the reason of this meeting is not effective communication. Effective communication is that after this meeting, you should be able to achieve those targets. The team people or the team members should be able to achieve the targets. So what should be the way that I should address this issue? Fine, good, no problem. Now, let me share something with you. During the interview, the first session, the first workshop, I said there is no shortcut. You have to start attempting. During the second workshop, achieving professional goals, again I mentioned, if you go through the notes, after every few or after every paragraph, I have mentioned no shortcuts. Your language skills may be very good, your pronunciation may be very good, your style of talking may be very good, but if you are not doing your homework properly, you will not be an effective communicator. Now, what do I mean by not doing your homework properly? It's very, very simple. This is the situation of the team not achieving the targets. A person who is trying to get this issue resolved would be tempted to solve this problem in a shortcut way by offering them, okay, fine, if you have not met this target, that's not a problem. From next time onwards, all of you who achieve the targets, I will give you a dinner coupon in a 5-star hotel. Oh wow, the team is excited, very good. Now I will try. I am sorry, my friends, that's not the reason, that's not how you will achieve it. If by mistake you achieve it, you have given them an opportunity that's how they will achieve. Every time the expectation will be set. You are setting up a wrong expectation. Do not give people incentives or do not declare incentives for something they should be achieving for their basic work. If they overachieve, incentives should be there when you overachieve. You exceed your expectation. So that is a shortcut. Now, what is the right way to address this issue? The right way to address this issue is hard work. Now, when I say hard work, not necessarily do a lot of research and hard work. Now, hard work and smart work. The moment you found out that the team has not met the target, you first have to prove that the target is a rational target. The target is an achievable target. Please try to concentrate on this. Please try to listen. This is not only in your professional communication, although I said I am not discussing your personal communication, but this is true for your personal communication. Also, when you're communicating with your friends, your relatives, your near and dear ones, this is true at that point also. Once again, I'm trying to say, whatever target is set, whatever is the goal set, make sure to first convince the participants, convince your subordinates that that target or that goal is achievable. I am not forcing you to achieve something which is not possible. I am not asking you to get the sky down. I am not asking you to gather the entire sea in a bucket. I am not asking you to count the stars. So you need to convince these people that the target which was given to you is achievable. Once again, I am going back. I am reiterating. We are discussing about a meeting. The meeting is about reporting, and the reporting is happening about the target not met. Everyone with me till here? So in this professional communication, we have taken an example of a meeting, and there are different types of meeting. The meeting, the first thing which we are discussing is about the reporting. And in this reporting situation, the team has not met the target. So when the team has not met the target, we are trying to first emphasize, if you want to be effective in your communication, first make sure that you first make sure that you try to convince them that the target which they have not met is a target which can be met. Now, how can we prove this? It's very, very simple. You have to do some smart work. You have to do some hard work. Very, very simple. You got to collect the history. If not of your product, of your competitor's product. You need to prove them that somebody is achieving it. Sometime it was achieved, so we definitely can achieve. So that's the message. We will not tell them that you did not meet it because of this. We will discuss that. But then first prove them that this is achievable. Now, if you have given them this data that in the month of June, July, and August, we have met this, and it's just in the month of September that we have missed this much, automatically your half work is done. You have told them that in the last quarter we were able to meet it, so we will definitely be able to meet it in this quarter also. The first month we did not meet, no problem, we will make it sure. So they have a clear-cut message in their mind that it is possible. So that's one thing where you need to start your communication, or you need to start your sharing of thoughts in a meeting. Now, once you have proved them that the achievement, that the target is achievable, the second thing is, again, there is no shortcut. You need to tell them that you have already made a note of things because of which we could not achieve the target. The things could be several things depending on the situation. I'm just talking as of now, but it could be several things. It could be probably the service, or probably we are not able to meet as many people as possible. Probably there was some situation wherein we could not work on all those working days. Probably we have some new people who have joined us in our team. Probably a couple of us were not working on all those days. So there are several reasons why we could not. Or probably, if all these things are in place, we did not do the basic things of following up with our activity. There could be a number of reasons. You, as an effective communicator, you have to make a list of all those possible points because of which you and your team was not able to meet the target. So you got to be a little bit more careful. That's where exactly I meant to say that you need to speak in finite information. Again, I'm coming to the point, as I mentioned over here, what to speak? Speak positive. What to speak? Speak finite. Okay? What to speak? Speak positive. What to speak? Speak finite. What to speak? Use persuasive language. These are the three things which you need to use in any kind of professional communication. So this was something about the situation which is about a meeting. Same way, if you are launching a new idea, same concept. First, convince them that this new idea is necessary. Make sure that they are convinced with updates. If there is a new update, we were doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Today we need to do 2, 2, 4, 5. We need to change the sequence. Once again, convince them. Take them into confidence. Tell them the reason why this new update has come. So half of your work is done. Keep them updated why this changes. Just do not try to force them to do the things, but share with them the reasons. That is what exactly I'm trying to say. Once again, that way of speaking is positive language, finite words or finite sentences, and persuasive language. Using positive, it's not a big deal to understand. Using finite words, I will take you through once again when I discuss another point over here. Persuasive language, I will repeat once again now. Yesterday I took an example. I will take today's example. In this meeting, persuasive word is nothing but a word which is from the word called as persuade. Persuade means convince, to make people understand that what you're trying to say is correct. But you also need to make sure that you are sure what you're saying. Now when I say you are sure what you're saying, is that's wherein if you're talking about the meeting of reporting, meeting of a new idea, and you have to persuade them, you have to convince them that what exactly you're saying is correct. Same thing. Give them the logical history. Give them the logical data. Tell them that this is what it is. People have already achieved, so we have to achieve. People are doing it, the companies are doing it, competitors are doing it, we have to do it. Update, it is necessary that we change these rules, so that's the reason. Give them proper finite reasons, automatically it will be sounding as you are speaking a persuasive language. So this is all about the meeting.